Hi,
Right.
I'm Marty. That's my photo ID, and I am student number 4505 73472.
My turn now, Marty. I'm Melissa Angus, and my number is 4672752.
Yeah. I think I'm getting tired. That's my problem. Anyway, so lovely to have you here today, Mel. Thank you for having this little meeting with me. And yeah, what would you like to talk to me about today?
Look, I've recently had a situation, and I think I just need a little bit of peer support, just someone to bounce off and have a little bit of chat to. I've got a client who's 12 years old and is having a little bit of gender identity issues, and is kind of thinking that currently a he, but may want to transition into a she. So I kind of want to use you as a bit of a sounding board just to kind of like reflect off and maybe examine
Sure.
some I have. Yeah, I had a pretty strong reaction to her father, who was very angry. Sorry, his father about the possible transition and the growing of the hair and the piercings. And yeah, so I did a not a very professional thing, and
Mm, mm.
tried
Oh,
to shut.
I hear that conversations with Riley's father have been difficult in the past. Yeah.
Yeah, they really have, and I'm kind of working on that. Yeah, I want to kind of reflect on that, and maybe put a bit of goal setting in place, because I think that that is probably something that's lacking in my professional practice, is the
Sure.
ability to
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean he's not an easy man, and it's not an easy situation advocating for Riley against his father's wishes. Hey,
yeah. Look, and I just want to like I just a little did a little bit of a reflection diary, and I just want to read it to you. So
Mel, can I just congratulate you? That's awesome. Keeping a reflection diary. That's brilliant.
thank you. Yeah, and I find it really helpful. Um, Look, and so I wrote, for me, this is quite triggering. Makes me feel angry and I feel very defensive of the client. I firmly believe that each person has the right to choose how they identify, what they wear, how they present themselves. I feel like that's a fundamental human right, and I feel very strong in that. You want to be called a petrol can? I'm going to call you a petrol can. If that's what you want, that's how I am. I so believe in like your body, it's your choice. If you want to be called a petrol can, that's not hurting anybody else. You know.
True story.
Look, and then and I think I was reflecting it. It's really hard having the parental influence. And I just want to be supportive of Riley's choices, advocate for him in that situation, and probably need to get a little clear with Riley about the pronouns. Yeah, I think that's my thoughts and feelings around the situation. So I think for me, my bias is very strong, and so when I have someone calling me a poofter supporter, I feel angry about that and feel like
Sure.
they're being fair, and so that really frustrates me.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
glad that I've recognized that bias.
Yeah.
And,
So, but having said that, so your bias is pro gender change. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I just think that you get to choose, and I think that they're born, if they feel uncomfortable in their body, why wouldn't they be able to change? Yeah.
Sure.
Obviously, it's not, super early, and we need to kind of have a lot of counseling and discussion around those things. But I don't think these things come from like you know, a whim. I think it comes from, deep
Right.
inside.
Yeah. Yeah. And have you done some work with Riley around that, around his, the length of time that he's been wanting to, transition or been feeling like he wants to be feminine?
No, I haven't. No, I think that's something, Riley's 12, and so the puberty is just about to start. I think that's something, should they're only in short-term care, so I think that if Riley's to stay in our care for longer, that's certainly something that we should explore with like counselors and psychologists.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, because it's a big thing, like how you present yourself as you become an adult. I think, when you're a child, it's much more. you know, you can to and fro, and it's, you know, but people tend to pigeonhole you, and that's it's really important that you advocate for him, and that's really lovely, Mel. Yeah. So what about as far as the law is concerned, and ethical responsibilities surrounding this issue? Tell me a little bit more about what you know about that, legal and ethical responsibilities.
So certainly for me, thinking about the situation with Riley and her father, we certainly have, a legal issue around privacy. It's like Riley has the right to privacy. So
Spot
I
on.
think
Yep, that's good. Yep.
around my conversations with the father, not breaching Riley's confidentiality. And
Yep.
I think, have like within our care service, we have to uphold human rights. We don't want to be discriminating against gender, race, age, any of those kinds of things. And I think that's really central to our practices.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That it's a right to be socially included and
Mm.
equality. I think all of those things guide our practice, and those kind of thinking about those fundamental human rights give us a really clear framework of how to go forward, and making sure that we can advocate for Riley in an ethical, and making sure we build the legal framework.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you've summarized that really well, Mel. Your job role and your job description, including professional boundaries. Can you tell me a little bit about how that's come into this situation?
Yeah, awesome. So my job at Karma Community Services is obviously a residential care worker. So my job
Yep.
is to care for it. I need to comply with work health safety procedures, the policy and procedures set out by the company. I have a responsibility to, ensure that I'm reflecting on my practice, and then I'm attending the right training that I need to be doing to make effective practice. I have a duty of care to my clients and colleagues, make sure that they're safe, not in harm's way. Also have the responsibility to maintain the documentation, incident reports, keeping reflective journals, all of those
Brilliant.
things, so that I have records for, the future. And also my responsibility to collaborate with clients and the network. And in terms of professional boundaries, I probably crossed a few with Riley's father the other day. I was pretty unprofessional in my practice. I escalated to where he was. So, I need to make sure that my behavior is respectful and professional at all times. I'm also the one who's responsible for my self-care. So Riley's dad obviously really triggered me. I'm really glad to be having this conversation so that I can reflect, and actuate my self-care plan, which is running, gardening, swimming, listening to music.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
And I think I also need to be like really clear about what my role in this is, and my role in this is to advocate for Riley, and I just need to be aware of the exact relationship, not the mom,
Yeah.
not accepting. It's really important in this,
Yeah.
when supporting
Yeah.
vulnerable, they need to know the exact, how the role is. And
Yeah. 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 And we're not, like transgender activists either. Like we just have to, protect Riley, and but we have to be in communication with the father, and hopefully keep that relationship open and constructive. So yeah, no, that's all really, really good, Mel. I understand you've done a SMART goal. Can you share that with me?
Yeah. So as part of like moving forward and acting in a professional way, I realized that I have to kind of rectify that anger that I felt about that issue. So I've identified there's a gap in my practice. So I thought, in terms of doing that this month, I will look at attending a webinar, because I feel like I'm very passionate about transgender rights. I don't know a lot about it, and I feel like you could see me stumbling over the pronouns and things before. So there's a webinar that pride.com hold, and so I think I will join in on that webinar, a little bit of a discussion, just to make my practice culturally safe, I suppose, for Riley, if that's a culture that she connects to or they
Sure.
connect to.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that felt important. And then the other goal I found this step training. Step training is another online course, which is great because I can do it after work hours, and it's about understanding and responding to anger. So it's like, okay, I'm feeling angry. You know, how do I deal with this angry person in front of me? So that's
That sounds awesome. I would actually love to join with you in doing that. So if you can email me the details to that, I'll do that with you because I'd like to make my practice better too.
And I just thought, reflecting on this has been pretty big for me, and I know we've got some new workers starting next week, and I thought, what are 3 pieces of advice that I can give to workers that are coming, on shift, and really just, so what I would say is, it's okay to reschedule the call. If you're feeling like you can't control your anger, which is what I probably should have done,
Yeah.
I can't talk to you right now, call back. Reaching out for help is the other one that I would recommend. And I think that we do that quite well within our organisation, reaching out for help. And most importantly, when nobody's perfect, it's okay to make mistakes. It's what you do with mistakes after they happen and the learning that you take from them.
Yeah. And you mentioned before too, that self-care, that running, that gardening, that's going to be really important to pass on to these 3 new workers too. So you're definitely on your journey of your professional development, and as am I. And it's good to share that advice and just collaborate on issues like that, Mel. That's all really been really good sharing, and I appreciate your honesty. And that's lovely as we're on this journey together. Yeah. All right.
Talk soon.
We'll talk soon. We'll see you on the next shift. We'll see you later. Bye.